This is OS from the BBC World Service. I want to turn to Poland now. A sad story out of the country. The mayor of the city of Gdańsk, Paweł Adamowicz, has died in hospital a day after being stabbed at a charity event. You might have heard he was attacked on stage in front of hundreds of people. The former Polish foreign minister, Radek Sikorski, who knew the mayor, told the BBC there was shock at the killing.
We are shattered by this. Poland is not a country of political violence. It has happened, but very rarely. And Adamowicz was a very well-liked figure, participating in one of the nicest events in the year, a huge charity concert that raises money for hospitals and for children. We are shattered by this.
Let's turn to Gdansk and to Ewelina Potocka, journalist for the National Broadcaster and Radio Gdansk. Good to have you with us, Ewelina, and I'm very sorry it's under these circumstances. He was somebody who many people held very dear.
Hello, and welcome very much. People are shocked here in Gdańsk, devastated. We journalists, we all are, because we knew the Mayor of Gdańsk personally. People light candles in front of the city hall, go to churches, pray for him, and the flag, that's the symbol of Gdańsk, the city. The flag is down.
He was re-elected 5 times. I suppose that is a testament to his popularity. How would you describe him?
Exactly. Now it was his 6th time, to be exactly said, the 6th time in office. How was he? In my memory, I would say he was a visionary, because he has a very exact vision of Gdańsk. He wanted Gdańsk to be a very international city, to be open city, and he was very open-minded. He built a lot of streets, a lot of investments in the city. He also was very into equality for women, for men, for migrants, also for people LGBT. He was very open-minded and with a very positive attitude, sometimes also sarcastic, which wasn't easy when we were speaking with him.
I just have a minute, Ewelina, but a man has been arrested, we understand.
Yes, a man was arrested. He's 27. He was on stage. He also grabbed the microphone of the host of the whole event, and he introduced himself with his name and his surname, and he said he was tortured in prison when he was in prison, because in December he recently just got out from prison, so it was like 2 weeks after he got out from prison. Yesterday he murdered the president.
Yeah, very difficult for people, and I will say the perpetrator, I believe, denies the attack. But we'll continue.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll continue following developments there. Ewelina Potocka, thank you very much for joining us, a journalist for Radio Gdansk, the city that is very much mourning their mayor, who has been their mayor for over 20 years. You're listening to OS from the BBC World Service. Celia Hatton has just sat down, our Asia Pacific regional editor. We're going to be speaking to her after the news. A story out of China and Canada, a bit of a diplomatic spat taking place there. Stay with us on the BBC.
This is the BBC World Service, where every month World Questions comes from a different country.
Jamaica has sky-high crime, widespread poverty and an underperforming economy. It's also got a world-class university, world-beating athletes and worldwide cultural clout. Join me, Johnny Diamond, a panel of politicians and thinkers and a buzzing audience as we debate the contradictions in paradise.
World Questions, Saturday at 20 and Sunday at 12 GMT. You're listening to the BBC World Service, and here's what's happening in the studio this week.
Music from an orchestra of blind and visually impaired musicians. They cannot see the conductor, but they can feel the beats of his baton. Hear how inventors Rolf Gelhar and Vahakin Matosian have created a new kind of baton to make this happen.
In the studio, Tuesday at 11:30 and 21:30 GMT.
Hello, this is Nuala McGovern, live from the BBC Newsroom. You're very welcome to OS. Have you watched the film on intersex children on our website or perhaps our news app? It's a fascinating watch about the rights of intersex children in Kenya, the UK and also the States. Now, activists say that babies and children that are born that way are going through unnecessary surgeries, sometimes without the consent of their parents. Well, our new global gender and identity correspondent, Megha Moan, will join us and explain all.
BBC News. A court in China has sentenced a Canadian man to death for drug trafficking after an unusual retrial that's drawn accusations of political interference. Robert Lloyd Schellenberg had already been convicted and given a 15-year prison term, but that was unexpectedly reviewed in December following the arrest in Vancouver of a senior Chinese telecoms executive. The British Prime Minister Theresa May has just begun addressing Parliament ahead of a crucial vote on Tuesday on her deal with the EU and Britain's departure from the bloc. Earlier, the EU published a letter with further reassurances about the draft deal. Afghan officials say at least 40 people have been injured in a truck bomb explosion in the capital, Kabul. An Interior Ministry spokesman said the blast targeted a high-security compound where many non-governmental organisations and guest houses for foreigners are located. The mayor of the Polish city of Gdańsk, Paweł Adamowicz, has died after being stabbed on stage at a charity event on Sunday. His assailant claimed he had been wrongfully jailed by the mayor's former party, the Civic Platform. Activists in Russia say dozens of men and women have been detained in a new round of persecution against LGBT people in Chechnya. A statement said 40 people had been imprisoned on suspicion of being gay since December. At least 2 had died from torture. Senegal's Constitutional Court has authorised 5 candidates to compete in presidential elections next month. They include the current head of state. Judges confirmed the 2 best-known opposition figures would be barred. Egypt's prestigious Al-Azhar University has been ordered by the most senior Sunni Muslim cleric to review Saturday's decision to expel one of its female students over a hug. The university said she'd been expelled for breaching its values. BBC News.